Jealousy is the one emotion we all feel, but we pretend we don't. Today we're talking about the ugly truth no one wants to admit. You felt it when someone else has what you want, when your partner looks at someone else, when you hate yourself for feeling it. Let's talk about jealousy. Jealousy isn't your enemy, it's a messenger. And once you learn to read the message, it loses its power all over you. So jealousy, it's not about them. It's about you. So when we're talking about jealousy, there's something that's inside. There's a feeling, there's a core belief, there's a thought process that we are attached to it. It's the feeling not good enough. It's like wearing a costume in a way. It's spotlighting at parts of ourselves that we have not yet healed. So the person you're jealous of is just a mirror showing you of what you feel like you lack in yourself. So let's be honest. Jealousy feels awful. There's a knot in your stomach, the comparison spiral, the shame of even feeling it. So here's what I learned about jealousy. It's not a character flaw. It's a spotlight. It points out the place inside you that needs to be healed. The person you're jealous of, they're just holding up a mirror to the part of you that does not feel like it's enough. And that is the opportunity to work on oneself. So it's been a while now, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong, there's times where jealousy does creep up, but it does not affect me like it used to. There was a time when I was in a relationship and I just felt so insecure and I didn't feel good enough, and you know, if my partner was laughing at someone's jokes or if they were paying more attention to them, I even remember saying to one of them, like saying, you know, you better not talk to that person. And like right now, I just feel, I feel gross even thinking about it. And I think and I'm glad I do, because it's like, it shows me how far I've come. And like at that time, like when I felt jealous, I'd feel, you know, a fiery feeling in my chest. And sometimes I would feel sick to my stomach. So those are important cues. Those are important connections to look at, is how does it make you feel? Where do you feel it in your body? And so, yeah, the unhealthy ways that I handled it, like I said, I was, you know, telling someone who they could talk to or not talk to. That's, you know, that's a controlling behavior. That is something that is not okay in a relationship, in my opinion. You know, I think when you're in a relationship, you got to trust, you got to love, you got to care, you got to let your partner know that they are free to do what they wish, what they want. And don't get me wrong, there's boundaries, right? Like if I'm in a relationship where it's just them and I would not be okay if they're making out with some other dude, you know, or going on a date with some other guy. And I mean, like, I think they still have the freedom to do that if they wish. But the consequences is the dynamics will definitely change. And that's the power. You get to have your own voice and your own opinion and how people treat you. And the turning point when I realized it was about me was like, I had to look at the connection behind everything. I had to look at like I said, the thoughts that I had, the beliefs that I had, no, I'm not good enough, they're better than me, they have this, they have that. And it's like you're good enough the way you are. And the one thing that you start doing is like I found was like I started to respect myself more. I started to love myself more. And it took a lot of time. It took a lot of healing. It took a lot of work that I did not want to do. It pointed out a lot of different things that I hid from. And now it's like this, I exposed everything. I don't have a secret anymore. Like I've told somebody about everything about my past. And then after clearing up all that, I started feeling that freedom. I started feeling a light return into my eyes. I started feeling, you know, love and compassion. And especially for myself too. I was one of the greatest self-condemners. I condemned myself so much. I would not feel good about myself. And now it's totally flipped. And it's just thinking about the time where, you know, jealousy would absolutely consume me. It turned me into a spiral. My partner looked at someone else, so I would be going downward. I'd check, I'd question, I'd obsess, I'd try to control. And when I had to learn the hard way, that wasn't love. Jealousy is not love. It's fear wearing a mask. And it's not like I was afraid of losing my partner. It was that I was afraid of not being enough. And I had to deal with that. And the truth is, no amount of reassurance would be enough. I would have to learn to reassure myself, to recognize these patterns I was going through. And like I said, this is a long time. This is probably, for me, I mean, it's been at least over 15 years or so that I was really, where I was really getting comfortable with being myself and feeling good enough. And like I know what I bring to the table now. I know what values I have. I value myself way higher. And that's the important piece of it, is learning how to get that way. And so the truth is, like I said, I've had a history a long time ago. I was jealous. And I also been at where my partner was jealous. And both are not good. They don't feel good. So being on the receiving end, it felt suffocating. It felt controlling. It felt like I cheated even though I didn't. It felt like I already slept with somebody, and it's like, no, I haven't. And I got accused of things that were, to me, not real. And I mean, that was one of the hard things about it. And the irony is, jealous people often attract partners who trigger their own jealousy. And it's because it's almost like you kind of attract the hell state that you're in. And I see that now. And I see that from my past relationships. And it shows like where I'm at, like where my self-esteem is at. That's the people I'm going to attract. And both sides stem from the same root. It's insecurity. So I've been on both sides. And here's the part no one talks about, being on both sides. So I felt jealous at one time. Don't get me wrong. I feel jealous sometimes today, but I deal with it way differently. I reassure myself. And that's the thing. I don't expect the other person to reassure me. I make sure I have the responsibility. These are my feelings. These are my insecurities. And I get to own them, because if I own them, then it gives me the opportunity, it gives me the power to change. And that's what I have to do. And so I've been on both sides. I felt jealous, and I've been with someone who is jealous of me or jealous of others, perception. And they feel terrible. They don't feel good. When someone is jealous of you, it doesn't feel like a compliment. There was a time it's almost like, oh, like she really cares or loves me. Like I felt that. But no, it's not. It feels suffocating. It's like I'm being watched. I have to walk on eggshells. And the more insecure you are, the more you attract partners who trigger that insecurity, and it becomes a loop. And the only way out is going through it, and it's facing these things and acknowledging these things, owning these things, and finding ways to heal. That's the only way I found how to deal with these. So I had to have a mindset shift from I needed them to choose me to I choose myself. And that's a big key fact. Like I don't have to look for people's validation. I have to validate myself. I have to choose myself on a regular. I have to love myself on a regular. Like it's nice that there's people out there that will, like in the rooms that I was in, like the support groups I was in. So, some people said, "We'll love you till you love yourself," and that felt good. But the most important thing is you got to start loving yourself, and you got to start choosing yourself. So self-worth isn't about being chosen. It's about knowing your own value. And like I said, the more you heal, the more you take care of yourself. That shows self-love right there. Nobody taught me this. Now I'm teaching you. Follow for daily tools.